Good night, everybody. I appreciate you all joining me in my version of the stroll stream. I'm traveling this week. I'll be down in Florida for a little while, just doing stuff at the head office for my day job. But wanted to still bring everyone
stroll stream. I'm traveling this week. I'll be down.
Sound works on the stream, so that's good. But wanted to bring everyone information and have a good talk with a brother that's in the space, TyCity. TyCity, I can't say that I've talked to him directly. I can't say that I've watched his content, but I did hear him a couple weeks ago on Edward Anderson's channel, and he was talking about cryptocurrencies. And from the little bit that I heard from him, I wanted to hear more about what he's actually doing in the space and how he's actually utilizing the space to actually make even more money and do things to actually improve his current position. Also, Lynell will be joining us here at some point during the stream. Hopefully everything is okay with him, but he is not here right now, but hopefully he will join us here in a little bit. So I'll pass it over to TyCity because I don't know much about you. So brother, please tell us a little bit more. Go ahead and unmute yourself when you're ready. And let's get this sucker started. I do have some questions for you. So I want to pick your brain about some stuff as well.
What up? Okay, I'm coming through.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I mean, I'm TyCity. I just stumbled upon the manosphere, very vocal, very I don't know, abrasive. But other than that, I mean, I go through the same thing everybody else go through. I found cryptocurrency back in 2016, early 2017. And I've been doing my thing on that. I've really been trying to bring hobbies and things to the space as far as, I'm a gun guy, car guy, you know what I'm saying? Just all around, just bring some kind of extra to it, to broaden the conversations and shit.
So when you say gun guy, like what does that consist of? Like what type of guns are we talking, if you don't mind getting into that? Because I'm a gun guy myself. I got AR-15s that I've purchased, like Daniel Defense, Savage Arms, and then also AR-15s that I've actually made myself.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do on my channel. We run it down to the 80% lower receivers. I show them how the laws work. You know what I'm saying? I show them how just actually getting abreast with the information, because a lot of people, they don't understand that. So yeah, when it comes to guns, I'm a gun guy, car guy. I'm actually just a guy, and I think I thought that most black men were guys. You know what I'm saying? Gadgets and shit like that. And right. When you come to this space, it's just like you're limited with the conversation.
Well, yeah, that's true. In the manosphere or manosphere, Negro manosphere, whatever you want to call it, black manosphere, if you will, it is limited to a certain extent. But that's even the same thing in even just like overall, like with guy stuff. But it is definitely special here a little bit in quote unquote black sector of YouTube, if you will. And but we're seeing where, more channels are coming out, even like yourself, as I'm finding out more about you, that are saying all these things that we've seen in other, like in like from white people and everything like that, but they're saying these things, but with a black face and from a black perspective. And we're seeing that grow and quote unquote mature, which is nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I'm heavy on building my own AR-15s as well. Like I have people come on to I like bringing people into the space, you know what I'm saying? So interviewing people from outside the space who specialize in this or that. I think that's how the space should have expanded. That's how the space should have expanded, just bringing fresh air in here. But, you get the people, that's why the conversation gets redundant, and that's why you end up talking to the same people for years. So you come in here and you're like, hey, what do y'all niggas do for fun? What do y'all what do y'all do? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
what do y'all do to make money?
Yeah, you can't get a conversation going on that, you know. And I've been, you know what I'm saying, branded the guy who was forcing people to do different things, you know, lost a lot of YouTube friends and so on and so forth, man. So here we are.
Now, with the loss of those YouTube friends, and we'll stay on that a little bit because I think that's interesting in terms of getting to know you and such. But with the loss of those YouTube friends, has it been an obstacle for you? Has it been something that's held you back, or is it something where it's just like no big deal?
Nah, it ain't shit. Nah, it ain't shit, man. Once you start forging your own lane, you know what I'm saying, you start to like the space that you built, you know, and other people start to appreciate it. Makes you more authentic. People rock with it.
Right. And that's important too, because it's like the reason why I ask that is because sometimes we get so held up on like, you know, making friends with people in the space.
Try to be cool with people.
Yeah. And it's just like, that's okay. You know, and also, you know, a lot of times that we disagree with one thing with people, and then that makes us just disagree with everything that they said. And it's just like, bro, we both know the
especially if you disagree with somebody and they take it there, you'll be like, okay, well, we here now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just that. I'm not the type of person to just be like, oh, I need to do this to be cool with this person or that person. You know, that don't work with me. So yeah. This is why my content be all over the place, because I'm not trying to stay within the genre.
Well, you know what? I can understand that. I can understand that from the sense of like, okay, hey, listen, you don't want to stay on one thing. Even myself with the MGTOW Retirement series, which is what this is titled under. The MGTOW Retirement series is more or less, okay, we know what's going on with women. We know what's going on with male behavior or female behavior, and we know what's going on with male behavior and the interaction of the two in terms of how it creates its own complex system based off of genitalia. Like we understand what's going on.
Right.
So even with that and understanding that, you know,
but you still, I still find myself in a position where I've been using the hashtag they don't care and they know, because it will really circumvent a lot of these useless conversations. You know, it's like you telling fucked up women that they fucked up and just like hoping that they care or something. Now, I don't know what the end goal is. You know what I'm saying? What is it?
You see, you also have to. One thing I understand about this space is that it's therapeutic to a lot, even to some of my own listeners. So once you start to really understand that a lot of people see this as therapeutic, you understand why it's repeated, why it's repetitive. And
I understand that. I totally understand that. My thing is, when it comes to that's just men and men understanding that amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? But now there's this bridge that's supposed to be this extended hand where, you know, we're gonna fix the other side. We're gonna fix women by you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, and the way I look at that and what I say is women have agency. With agency comes responsibility. And with that responsibility comes, you know, the reality of consequences that we all have and what we all have to deal with. So my biggest thing is never take the agency from a woman or in any way, shape, or form. And with that being said, you know, I kind of I think this is something that you probably would vibe with is who gives a fuck? Let's move on past that. Let's talk about this money. Let's talk about what you're going to do in retirement. When we hear people like Kevin Samuels in the space and they're talking about, you know, you're going to get a dog, die alone. I also look at that from a standpoint of men, because there will be some men in that situation. So if there are men in that situation and they've, you know, possibly come to terms with it or will come to terms with it, well, let's have them be prepared at the age of 25, 30, and let's have them look in their 401ks. Let's have them look at a Roth IRA. Let's have them look at the cryptocurrencies and like, yo, listen, just buy and hold. things like that. And that's kind of what I'm really trying to push, even with the MGTOW Retirement and even this stream, where it's like, I don't care what people do with their genitals. I'm here to talk about the money. Like, it's just, it's like, we already know what's happening. Like, I'm in Florida now. Like, I can go to a strip club on a Sunday. Like,
well, see, I even take it up a notch higher than that because, man, a lot of these guys in their 40s.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So if you're in your 40s and let's say, if you're in your 40s and you've been a part of these conversations for the last 5 years, you don't have another 5-10 years to try to figure out this woman piece.
Yeah, because per even our own culture, there even though men have a longer time, or they can be in this dating space, if you will, if you want to call it that, to our older age, men are going to age out too. Like, I mean, per our culture, men will age out too. Like, it's just how it is. And if you're not coming from a position of actually being financially secure and even financially above average and excelling financially, then you're going to age out even at 35. And I'm 35.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're going to hold the L.
Right. And that's the whole thing. It's like making men strong enough to hold such an L, because it weighs quite a bit. Like, that's my whole thing. It's like, it weighs a lot. And people really do have to understand that. So I do want to get into it. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say. I don't want to stop you or anything.
Yeah. It's just a lot of people have reached that understanding, you know what I'm saying, globally, that we're in the middle of what's called a wealth transfer. Yep. You know what I'm saying? A lot of new ways of doing things are about to be enacted, and financially, economically, things are changing globally. And if you are stuck, you know what I'm saying, on tiny issues or tiny problems, then you're going to miss it.
Yep. Yeah, and I totally agree. A lot of people, they hear the train coming. They hear, like, they see the lights. They're at that intersection and the lights are coming down. And they hear this train coming, man. And it's just like, and it's a slow moving train right now. You can still hop on. You still have time. Even at $50,000 Bitcoin, you still have time, especially when we're reading articles on Coinbase or other exchanges, CoinMarketCap, not Telegram, I think it's like Cointelegraph or something like that. We're reading all these different articles from different places, listening to different videos. I listened to a gentleman named Aimstone on YouTube here, and even Raoul Powell on Real Vision. He uses a lot of the Real Vision clips and a lot of clips from interviews from Michael Saylor and such. And what's crazy is you're seeing these guys. Even Robert Kiyosaki came out the other day and made a prediction that, in the title, I didn't watch the video on that yet, but Robert Kiyosaki supposedly is making a prediction for Bitcoin at 1.2 million. We're at 50,000 right now. And I'm not even saying get a whole Bitcoin, get a piece.
Yeah. My strategy, I'm not long Bitcoin.
Okay.
Because I've already had 50, 60x returns on small cap coins, altcoins, and whatnot. But I mean, for a safe bet, yeah, I say Bitcoin is a safe bet. But as for me, I like the other altcoins. I like a lot of different things, but I'm long Bitcoin because I understand that it raises everything else with it. You know what I'm saying? So Bitcoin is over half of the market cap right now of all the crypto combined. So with Bitcoin is, I don't want it to fail. You know what I'm saying? It's just I see opportunity in other smaller market caps. So.
Right. So,
but yeah, you're right. Robert Kiyosaki came out, and see, that's a kicker too, because a lot of people who are used to traditional means of wealth building, Robert Kiyosaki has been like a cornerstone of everything they believe. You know,
definitely foundational, almost like even a Dave Ramsey. This is, to some people, this is like if Dave Ramsey came out and said, let's go ahead and buy Bitcoin.
Right. So when you look at Robert Kiyosaki getting on Bitcoin heavy, you know what I'm saying, and not late either. He been on it. And that's all he talk about on his podcast now. So when you have people who say,
and Robert, by the way, Robert Kiyosaki is a precious metals guy. He's a gold and silver. He's a gold and silver buff.
Yeah, he even pushing that to the back. You know, I believe they shut down his gold mining. He started a gold mine. They shut it down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Chinese did. So with Robert Kiyosaki, and you got people who are in denial about Bitcoin, and you say, okay, well, here's Robert Kiyosaki. You know what I'm saying? Would you not take his advice?
Yeah, like tell me what you think now.
Yeah, it's like a paradigm shift. Yeah, it's like a paradigm shift. It's like, because everybody talks this rich dad, poor dad, but look what he's saying.
Right. Yeah. Look at what I guess Robert Kiyosaki, I think he was the poor dad, right? Or he had the poor dad.
Yeah, he had a poor dad, yeah. But he listened to his rich dad.
So look at the guy that had the poor dad, but listen to the rich dad. And look at what he's saying now. The guy that's been on both sides of it, you know, and then it's one of those things where, yeah, you have to be diversified in the market. But let's get to some questions here because we're already answering some of these questions, but I want to put the question in first, and then people can catch it and then start receiving it and making that proper connection, if you will. Oh, yeah. So what are your plans in the space in terms of cryptocurrencies? What do you want to do? What do you think it's going to do? And even get into how you actually even feel, not even based off anything, but how you feel, and even your logical speculations on the market as well.
My logical speculations on the market is extremely logical, right? So my theory and what I believe is going to happen is going to be based upon what happened during the .com bubble. I'm doing a lot of research on that. What happened with the internet boom, you know, with all of those companies and stuff. A lot of those companies didn't make it, but for a short amount of time, there was a lot of money in it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm taking that approach to crypto, is where I'm not emotionally attached to a lot of these investments, where I can liquidate if one goes parabolic. You know, I can put it into something else. I'm not stuck. You know, I understand that all of these cryptos aren't going to be Microsoft and Apple and Amazon and eBay. And that's how I'm looking at it.
Sorry, I was looking for my phone. I'm a little bit better than this. I'm just out of my usual space, so I'm gonna use that as an excuse for today. So sorry for walking away. And to your point, so again, AimStone is a great channel in terms of like regular content on cryptocurrency news, speculation, and what's happening with the market. And the AimStone, one of the recent AimStone videos, Raoul Pal was talking about how venture capitalists, and this is something that, you know, I don't really know because I don't work in that space. I don't have that type of money. And then I don't know too many people with that type of money that actually want to talk about that space outside of like maybe an interview. One thing Raoul Pal was saying in a recent interview is with venture capitals or venture capital companies, 80% of their investments will fail, will go to zero, will actually not come to market in some cases. But there's 20% that does, and that's where you're getting all of your money and you're getting exorbitant returns.
Right.
So he said, when you look at it and this is a macro investor, somebody that works in larger markets that span the entire globe, commodities markets, so on and so forth, and even precious metals. So even the slow money and making big money in the slow money, he's the person that sees this stuff and he says these cryptocurrencies is no different. what he's actually seeing is that where cryptocurrencies, where a lot of them will fail, myself knowing, back in 2017 and knowing what they call altcoins, aka shit coins, a lot of these things fail. But at the same time, we were seeing XRP at $3.
Right.
We're seeing,
with no use case. It had absolutely no use case. None of the protocol was implemented anywhere at the time.
Right. And it was slowly rolling out. So it's like people with quote unquote bigger money see this and they're like, yeah, it went to shit. That's somewhat normal.
Right. And I mean, if you look at the crypto, there is no Fortune 500 company that will die if any of these projects fail. Right. So there's no big enterprise on top of this technology yet. So like I said, the pure logical stance is to understand that you're dealing with pure speculation, right? You can only invest in the team and the potential, right? So for me, I like to see some type of working model. I like to see somebody who's already had a successful project be a part of the team. And that's how I do it.
Okay. So then that goes into the next thing, the next question. Do you have a strategy? What is it? Can you go into details with it? I know you also do have a Patreon. Those that are listening to the stream, even on playback, Lynell hopefully will be joining us. LynellG as his Cash App, and then TyCity. So that's Tip TyCity. So TyCity. That is scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, don't tip Lynell until he get here.
No, so, but like Tip TyCity, and if you like his content, also I will be his channel is in the description notes to where you can actually go and see some of his content and his interviews. If you want to get away from the mundane manosphere information or manosphere talk.
So my exit strategy is based on me understanding where we are with the growth of this entire market, right?
Also, can you touch in on your entry points, and if you will, I know there's some of the stuff that you actually not sell a course, but you have a Patreon or something like that.
I haven't started my Patreon yet. I do need to start one, but I mean, all of this stuff on my channel. Pretty much as soon as I find something, I do a live stream and everything is always in there.
So you giving it up for free?
Yeah, I've been doing that. I never put nobody behind a paywall, man. Some of them things hit big already.
Oh man, bro, get off my channel. No, man, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just I've been doing that, but here's the kicker though. Mm-hmm. All the money making stuff that I did on my channel got no views. So you'll be in there looking at, go back to my old videos for like 10 months, 11 months. We was talking about VeChain at like a third of a penny. It's at 12 cents right now. It's like 1,500% up. You know what I'm saying? 1,500% gains, bro. 1,500% up. This baby, we just talking about it over there like it ain't nothing. A few of them projects, I like to get into a lot of them early. I stay looking for new projects. Looking for all small market cap gems, and that's it. It's like when it comes to, you asked me about my exit strategy. My exit strategy is, I always say, secure profits. As soon as you get to, it's like you see something run up 500%, right? You're not going to get that again. Maybe you got it. You know what I'm saying? Some of my investments I take out where I'm just playing with house money. They'll run up so parabolic. I'll just take my initial investment out. Whatever happens, happens.
So then, first, I want to say, Village Arsonist TV, thank you for showing up to the stream and interacting with us. Really appreciate it. He did say peace to you, Brother Logic. I'm sure I think you're watching that as well. Billy the Goat says, what up? Go ahead.
So,
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah.
So what we're looking at is a slowly maturing market, right? So now it's going to be even easier to spot these investments and stuff through these partnerships that's coming down the pipeline, right? Because we're going from the phase of speculation where we just speculating on what something is worth, and now we're going into the space of utility. Is it going to be used? Where is it going to be used? You know, a few of these projects have already proven themselves to be useful already, i.e. VeChain, i.e. XRP, i.e. Ethereum to a certain point, right? And
go into that a little bit more, if not now, later, please. Mike V, thank you for joining us, brother. An honor. Thank you so much.
Well, Ethereum is based on proof of work. So, you know, when I say they have a use case, it's not truly unique to them because everybody else is doing it now, which is called DeFi or decentralized finance. And with Ethereum, they pretty much have first movers advantage. You see what I'm saying? So now comes Cardano, now comes Polkadot, now comes these other protocols where they actually can cross-chain into their protocol from Ethereum.
Yeah, atomic swaps.
Yes. So you have Ethereum, which, you know, this is what I'm saying about the evolution where if you're emotionally attached to Ethereum, you're going to miss out on Polkadot and all the competitors who are moving. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So nothing against Ethereum or any of these other projects, because like I said, we are just now leaving that speculation phase.
Right. So we're starting to see an evolution in we're starting to see an evolution in not only just the space, but the conversation within the space. And then now it's starting to get into bigger things. And we're starting to see where it's like, okay, now people are getting, we're not just seeing it as, oh, okay, this is nice, this is pretty. Now this pretty thing has some type of utility. This nice diamond,
now it has to work.
Now this diamond now we're making this diamond cut glass.
Right. So VeChain has had a partnership with BMW. They've been part of an actual international trade deal between two countries. You know, now you're starting to see France has made smart contracts legal binding. We are about to see the introduction of a digital dollar on federal blockchain. Like these things are coming. You know, man. China has already rolled out the yuan. You have different countries are already doing work behind the scenes with CBDCs already.
Dollar Will, I appreciate you joining, man. It's always an honor to even have you in the chat.
What up,
and talk to us, man. Yeah, man. And so that's super important, is that, you know, we're seeing the evolution of all of this. And with that, you know, I do want to go back to a question I had earlier, or a sub question is, what's your entry point? How are you looking for these things? What's the research that you can actually tell us right now? I do think you should put some of this information behind a paywall. Just at least go ahead so you can buy yourself a pack of water, but tell us what you can publicly, you know?
No, when it comes to like finding what I call, or everybody calls low market cap gems, is, I mean, that's what they are. You know, when you go and you look, it's getting harder now because they're not having the ICOs that they had in the first bull run.
Yeah.
And everybody doing all the new projects was coming and you had to get in on it. Ready, you know what I'm saying? And now it's not like that. You know, you got what they call launch pads now, you know what I'm saying? The pancake swabs and all that stuff. But the fees are killing people, but they still making a 4x automatically. You automatically know 4 times return once it's able to get on the exchanges, right? So when it comes to like finding new projects, you really have to dig because a lot of this stuff is hype. You know what I'm saying? a video about Ethereum is going to get more views than a video about Polkadot, you know. And
yeah, I mean, you remember, I don't like during 2017, one of the bigger channels or the crazy channels was Altcoin Buzz, man.
Yeah, Altcoin Buzz, yeah, blockchain.
And it's still around. Go ahead.
Yeah, he went to he got another channel called Blockchain Bulls. I think he actually sold that channel, Altcoin Buzz.
What?
Yeah. So now, Altcoin Bulls, this dude is sitting there, right? And people are putting suggestions in the chat, and he's going through them. He's doing the research already for you. All you got to do is tune in, and, they'll say, all right, this is the market cap. It has this much volume. This is the team. I like the website. I like, what I'm saying? They're just going through, the motions of, and that's how you get into projects early.
Right. And teaching people how to do it, which is actually like extremely, it's actionable intel. And it's to the point where like you don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to look at their GitHub like I used to do and see all the commits that they were having, see if they've been making any commits, if it's a BS commit, so you can see the different codes and looking at the diffs between this file and that file and everything else like that. That was one of the quote unquote edges that I had. And, I used to be in Facebook groups. So that makes me ask you, where is this information now? Is it in a 4chan chat forum? Is it a Facebook group? Where are they?
Telegram is where it's cracking at.
Right. Okay. And Telegram. What group in Telegram? If you can, like, I don't know if there's some groups where it's invite only. What
group? So much Telegram groups is not even funny.
Right.
Sometimes I just get lost in Telegram. I just be looking in there. And, in Telegram, you got a lot of tech guys in there, and you'll see them in there. They'll be talking shit about this project or that project, or this person abandoned this project to start this project. Don't get in this one. This one's good. You know what I'm saying? You start hearing rumors about certain deals and shit, like all that stuff going on in the Telegram groups and stuff, And I believe, was it 4chan? I haven't touched down over there, but they said there's some stuff going down over there too, where they did the Wall Street bets at.
That was that's Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit. So Reddit. I haven't been over to Reddit.
Me neither. I'm not a Reddit person. I'm not a Redditor, as they call them. But these are the places where, and I did link the Altcoin Buzz channel. That thing is up to 244,000, man. That's crazy. Subscribers. I remember Altcoin Buzz when they were like, I think maybe 10,000. Maybe I don't even know when I was actually in, like when I was watching them, but they were making content every day during 2017, man. That was the time to be alive, bro.
Yeah. That's when that's when altcoins was like, don't touch it, just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Don't touch it. XRP's the bankers coin. Everything was a shit coin. Everything. If it wasn't Bitcoin or Ethereum, it was fucking useless. You know what I'm saying? That's when Altcoin Buzz started popping off,
right? Because they were going into it. They were doing, I think they were doing interviews. They were reading all the articles. They were reading all the reports and white papers. They had a team that was probably like 3 or 4 of them, and they were cranking out videos every day, sometimes 2 times a day, man. Yeah, and I was in a whole bunch of Facebook groups and talking with people, personal Facebook groups, larger Facebook groups. It's crazy.
Yeah, the main guy started Blockchain Bulls, is his own personal channel now. I think he actually sold Altcoin Buzz to somebody.
I'm gonna actually look that up right now.
Yeah, but he go live and that's all he does. You know what I'm saying? He'll say, nope, the market cap too big. You know what I'm saying? He pretty good with small and there go Lynell right there.
I don't see him yet. Oh, Lynell, please, man, go ahead and join the stream. The link should be in your email. Please come up and join us, brother. Hopefully it wasn't like a problem on my part with Eastern and the other time zone, man. But yeah, so definitely, man, it was a wild time. So I'll move on to the next question, and then Lynell can catch up.
I always talk about my learning curve that I went through. It was disastrous and beautiful at the same time, dog.
Can you go into that, please?
That's why I'm so well. I lost a lot of money getting in, right? So I got in right when the market was like starting to go parabolic, right? So,
can you give us a date or was it December 2017?
Summer 17. This was around summer 17.
Okay.
Summer 17? Yeah, around summer 17.
It reached its peak December 2017.
Okay, yeah, around summer 17. I was aware, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't, I wasn't now the trick is I knew about Bitcoin way before 17 and I was retarded. Right.
I was mining Litecoin at one point. That was one of my starts. Lynell, I'll get you here in a second, but you can jump in on the conversation anytime.
So I get in, right? And when I jump in, I didn't get into XRP. You know what I'm saying? I bought Bitcoin. I bought like 4 Litecoins. It was like, I think Litecoin had just hit $25 and everybody was going nuts, right? It's like $25 Litecoin, right? So I'm like, cool. I'm already with it. It went from $25 to $75. I'm like, man, this is crazy, right? So then, I start getting into dumb shit. I start buying Vertcoin.
Okay. Yeah.
So I load the boat of Vertcoin. This is like Litecoin. And this is like the test bed for Bitcoin and blah, blah. It's out of MIT and all the rest of that. It's going to be great. Boom. Okay. I'm riding that heavy. They talking about Electronium. All of these projects. I'm like, yo, I got to have them all. So
you're straight.
I just get into the silly shit but you don't know it's silly shit because everything is booming, bro. Like, and I'm sitting there like, oh man, this shit finna go up and up and up. You know what I'm saying? And, man, I look back, it took a dip. And everybody was like, just hang on, it's going back up. This is crypto. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, hold on. I know it's gonna go back up.
No weak-handed pussies in my Facebook group. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, strong hands. And I'm sitting there holding these bullshit projects. And then it just hit. Like, man, this shit ain't coming up. I don't care what nobody say, And at that time, this is where I started looking through all the bullshit with Bitcoin because everybody was talking about what China was doing and how it's affecting the price. And I was like, why does anybody care about what the government says? I thought this was Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? I started to go through to have this epiphany. And that's what I learned. I was like, uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I started learning how to pretty much back then you could hustle. So you get on Cryptopia and just hustle up a storm. You know what I'm saying? The pump and dump groups was all over the place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Telegram was great for that, by the way.
Right. Oh yeah. It was no KYC, none of this verification shit. If you know what I'm saying, you over there moving around. And man, I was just able to make money again, And by that time,
what date is this? What year? Like what part of the year? First quarter 2018?
After 2018, that's when it started going down.
Right, so, exactly. Like what you're describing right now, can you tell us a time?
This is at the blow off top, right? And I'm holding my Litecoin. Charlie Lee sold all his Litecoin at the goddamn tip top, right? $100 in Litecoin, and I'm sitting there like, you know what? Litecoin gonna go back up. You know what I'm saying? Shit gotta go. I believe. Yeah, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally incorrect with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So 2018, I started going through a learning curve. Mm-hmm. That's when I started to man, you better learn about this shit. And that's when I started really all right, I'm gonna try to learn about, you know what I'm saying, Bitcoin outside of its money, its technology. That's when I started looking into what they call the other stuff, which is, yeah, Charlie Lee did try to tell us.
So with that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna just say this real quick. So that is when I started looking into it was called ant shares, but it was called something else. And then I started looking at the speed of these projects. Then I started looking at the scalability of these things. Then I started really learning what's happening and how this stuff is evolving. You know what I'm saying? And how that kind of correlates with price, or if it's just a solid project. And that's where I'm at now. I just had to throw 10 grand in the wind and learn the hard way.
I had to do that with about 10 grand too, around the 2017 bull market. Dollar Will BGS was telling us and saying all types of stuff to us, and I wasn't listening. But that brings me into a brother that, a fellow brother of the time that was in the groups with me, that was saying all this, that we were going back and forth. Lynell, Crypto with Lynell. His Cash App is in the banner below. Support him.
Lynell said y'all used to go to war. I wasn't here yet. He said y'all used to be going to war about this shit. I was like, man, some
battle axes sharpened.
Some niggas ain't gonna get it to it.
Like, hey man, we was ready to crack heads, man. Lynell, man, please.
I do that at work. I be at work. Them niggas be calling me at work, bro. I be like, man, what you over there do? Fucking with that? And this is just this joke where they all say, pay me in invisible digital assets. That's what they be saying to me. And I be like,
Brother Will said our tuition.
Tuition. Oh, I said one day we'll see who's gonna be around this motherfucker laughing. We'll see who's be laughing. While I'm losing money, you know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, just wait and see.
Lynell, please talk to us, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's that 2017 run. It caught a lot of people got in because of 2017, and that run going from 2 cents to $3 to $4, $5, like what the, and a lot of people thought it'd never go down, but that, like I keep saying, that razor blade slab board after the top hurt, and it was like, you know what, man, either two things gonna happen. Either I'm gonna learn about this stuff, or I'm gonna commit the same sin over again. And a lot of people gonna commit the same sin over again, but a lot of people learn. They learn the hard way. Like Dollar will say, they pay their tuition. They learned the hard way.
And we definitely did during that time. And also with that, TyCity and I were talking about, or the Logic Sphere and I were talking about.
No, you can call me TyCity, bro.
Oh, okay. Now I want to sometimes I want to get it in people's heads.
I'm not a channel.
Mr. The Logic Spear has told us. Core Luck, thank you, man, for joining. TyCity was good, bro. Good to see you. I'll put that.
Hey, what up, Core Luck? Yeah, we here.
What's going on?
But Lynell, we were talking earlier. What are your plans in the space? Do you have a strategy? And now the question that we're coming up to is, what is your ultimate goal? Can you give us a little synopsis and your thoughts on those things to quote unquote catch up? And then get other people to know where you're actually coming from, and also Lynell's information is also in the description, so please check him out. But go ahead, Lynell.
Yeah, as far as a goal, there's levels to goals. My goal consists of having cryptocurrency add years onto my life. Taking away the stress, taking away taking away the things that could be prevented, and it's so many levels to it. It's not, when people say, oh, let's use a case in point. Let's say someone got into cryptocurrency, and we always hear this win Lambo. Okay, Okay, let's say a Lamborghini Huracan costs, I think it's like 200,000, maybe. Let's say a person got in crypto and got 200,000, right? They can either spend that money on that Hurricane Lambo, not Lambo, but then Lamborghini Huracan, or they can just keep that money and just now that when they go back to work and a boss or someone that's over them giving them BS, the BS don't hit so hard.
Yeah, you just hit them with like this,
right?
And walk out.
Right. You just like, you know what? All right, cool. You know, I'll do it, you know, but
yeah,
yeah.
You look at him and be like, listen, what did you say, peasant?
Right, exactly. Because now that BS that they giving you, now you ain't got that. Before you didn't have that money, and you have to just take it and just swallow it. And swallowing that stress isn't good for your body. But now you're not swallowing no more. You just, all right, man, cool. You know, they on some BS. Man, got what I got, and you just do it and just keep it moving. You know, because that right there, I keep telling people, it adds stress. It adds time onto your life, man. It does, and putting it in context like that allows people to understand. You know, it's not just getting a Rolex, a rose gold Rolex. Oh, now I got this money, or some people may have enough money to get a house paid for, which is great, which is good. And it's good to write down your plans before you get it. Because just in case you get it, imagine the people who born to Theta when it was a couple cent. Now it's 12, 13,
you bring
15
up all
cents.
the heartbreakers, bro.
Right. So now you like, wow, I got this money. Instead of you saying, Lamborghini and Ferraris, no, you paying off bills. A person may buy a house for their family, put the money aside for their kid or children, college tuition, have some money in the bank, still have some money in crypto. And that when people say life changing, that right there is life changing. Whereas you just restructured your entire life.
Yeah. And Dollar Will says FU money, and what you're saying is beyond FU money. It's almost like level up money. I don't know another way of saying it to crystallize that, but it's like beyond that. And we were talking about it in a personal conversation the other day where paying off debt is just such a mindset changer, changing your environment. It's just something. It's just like what, like it literally, you could be in the same exact place, but you're looking at a whole different world. TyCity, I did want to or Lynell, go ahead, and then TyCity, I want your thoughts on what I just said after that.
Yeah, it does. Because now I tell people, let's say a person may not become a multi-millionaire in crypto, but you gain enough money to pay off a bill, to pay off a few bills, a few loans, few credit card loans, few car notes or car note or a house. That's a clean slate. Just look at the statistics, especially in America, in these first world countries such as the UK, Canada, Australia, US. A lot of people are in debt. Even the governments are in debt. So now you just put yourself in a situation where you just simply paying off your debt puts you ahead of a lot of people. Not because you're a millionaire or not because you were able to gain millionaire status through crypto, but because you were able to pay off debt through crypto that puts you ahead of a lot of people in America. And that right there, that you get, now you go to work, you get paid, all that money is, plus money. It ain't got to go to no bill,
extra.
right? Right, it's just extra. It's just layers and layers of frosting.
Right. TyCity, your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I'd have made a few big moves that like reshaped my thoughts about this. You know what I'm saying? It's along the lines of what Lynell said, where, you know, financial freedom may not be $1 million, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you cash out at $500,000, you know what I'm saying? What do you got to do? Pay taxes for the rest of your life? You pay your house off, like Lynell said, pay all your debt off. Like, financial freedom is not 5 million, 10 million, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? How much is it worth to not have to wake up and do something?
Yeah, that bar is a lot lower for a lot of people. So, for instance,
it means a lot more than $10 million.
At Dollar Will with the comment of emancipation, and you know, even just bringing up my situation, things that I talk about transparently. I mean, I've recently moved back in November 2020, COVID. You know, I took advantage of that. And I was able to move into a home, decent size, very good construction, needs some remodeling on the inside, but nothing serious in terms of problems. With sitting on 2,300 square feet, sitting on 18 acres of land for $213,000 in a very small town. But there's a Walmart, there's a Kroger's, there's a Lowe's. So all those amenities, all those quote unquote basic amenities are there. Things, you know, first world amenities are there. So it's like that bar is a lot lower for people. Even recently, I have a video coming out tomorrow talking about profit harvesting, and I do want to hear you guys talk about that. But profit harvesting and also financial receipting or receipting of profits. So like putting those profits back into the market. But I'm talking about the golden cross has occurred in terms of my overall asset allocation, my whole portfolio. I have more in assets than I do in debt. And like, that's happened at $50,000. I can liquidate everything right now, pay off all my debt, still have money left over, not even touching my retirement accounts. And everything is extra at that point. Your thoughts, guys. TyCity, continue on with what you're saying and react to even what I just said, please.
Oh, no, that goes along with what I was saying. It's just not. A lot of people look at, oh, I'm going to make millions and millions and millions. But like you said, you can profit take and keep growing your stash. And you know what I'm saying? Especially with some of these opportunities popped up recently, you'll be there in no time.
Yeah. Lynell, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. You know, don't let people on the internet like hype, you know, in the crypto community, hype dudes say, oh man, if you don't become a multi-millionaire or a deca-millionaire, meaning at least $10 million in crypto, you failed. No, you bought that 2012 car that you still owe, you know, a couple $1,000s on. Now you're able to pay that off. You know, you took out that loan, you already pay that off. You had a few low limit credit cards, you paid those off. You know, especially if someone that was in a divorce and now they got money in a bank where they can pay their child support off from their savings account until their children or child reach 18, or student loan, they're able to put a dent in a student loan bill. Let's say they had $30,000 in student loan. Now they were able to pay $15,000 off of it. That's time. That extra $15,000 that they paid off, you can quantify that in time.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, you can quantify that in time, because now, let's say it took you 7 years to pay it off. Well, it would have took you 7 years to pay, 7.5 years to pay it. Now you can pay it off in 3 years. That's 4 years of stress-free. You know, that's 4 years of saving and putting into your 401k. You know, all that is equivalent. All that add up. And now, you know, you come out this situation that the world going in, and now everybody's like, oh man, I got to start over. I got to get me a new job. Now here you know, stealth wealth, like, oh man,
stealth wealth. I love that.
I didn't pay everything off. So now your friends complaining to you, and I'm just putting everything in context. Your friends complaining to you like, man, I got to pay this bill off, and you like, do I really want to listen to this? Because I paid the bill off, man. You and I.
He's like, oh, a mortgage?
Right, exactly. So now your
seems like things
peasants do. Exactly. Your friends complaining to you, about their bills, and you like, man, I want to listen to this. I need me some new friends. So you go out, go start going to these festivals around town. Now you walking around with your head up high, your shoulders back, because you're looking around because you ain't got to worry about going into work on a Saturday afternoon to pay off debts and make more money to put on that same student loan that you just paid off.
Now, I know we've talked quite a bit in terms of the quote unquote dream, the quote unquote good side of crypto, and also the bad side of crypto and the things that we've gone through in the space. 2017 bloodbath, summer of 2017 for TyCity, me going back as far as having 2 mining rigs to the point where CompUSA was still open, and I had to check a guy. I had to check a guy in the set I had to check a guy, and I was like, okay, I want that video card, and say the video card, the price on the shelf was $200, right? And he pulls the price off the shelf and actually kind of like folds it up as if I didn't see it. I said, no, bro, I'm getting it for that price that you had in your hand. He's like, yeah, but it's at $300. What does that sticker say, sir? Oh, all right, cool. We'll get it for that. And I was like, yeah, you damn right. But this is back when CompUSA was still open. We've gone through all of that, right? And, I don't need to. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let me get it. Not only go through that during 2017, then 2018 and 2019, you still want to play with it. You still, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about everything to retrace up to 90%, and you still let me see some of this. I know that, what I'm saying? It's like, it's a weird space to get in, but luckily, you get to, we have things like YouTube and Facebook stuff where you can see people still making content during bear market. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me like, damn, man, they still believe in this. You know what I'm saying? I'm still subscribed to a lot of these people from the bull run.
Yeah.
So I get the notifications. I just start listening. I'm like, what? They still building on that stuff? They still have partnerships? None of the fundamentals change? Why do people leave?
Right. Now, it's kind of like they didn't change. You changed, bro.
Now here we go back again. And it's like, Lynell, you said something the other day that hit me hard. You said 30% more people in the market now?
I can't remember what context that was in. I can't remember.
It was we were just talking about how many more on-ramps it is for just the general public to get involved. You ain't got to go through, you know what I'm saying, find this, sitting over there, because there was the only on-ramp, I believe, from fiat to crypto back then was Coinbase, Kraken, and I forgot the other one.
Bitcoin meetups. There was the obscure ones. Yeah, there were the obscure ones like Poloniex, Bitcoin. And Coinbase was one of the ones where I can't wait till their IPO comes out. I will be buying that stock.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if it's going to be an IPO or a SPAC, but I can't wait till they hit the market as a publicly traded company. There's also Voyager that's out there as well, has been out there, but I can't get them on my broker M1 Finance. But we're seeing.
I got to put you on this. It's a way where you could take a test to become accredited.
Accredited, how so? Explain that.
In order to buy in before the company goes public.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that in a second, because I want to I
gotta get some more research. I heard a few people talking about it actually this morning. It's another one. I gotta look into it. It's another one, but the guy was like, yo, even if you don't have the money or whatever, they have a test you could take to become accredited.
Okay, well, you know what? In that case, please, everyone, subscribe to the Logic Spheres channel. It's in the description box below this this actual video. I was able to put that information in. Also, support these guys by hitting up their Cash Apps if you can. First, hit up yourself in terms of making a Coinbase account, putting money into it, and actually getting into the cryptocurrency market. Do your research. This is not financial advice, but I'm not going to lie. I don't think it'd be bad if you did it. But with all that being said, listen out for the Logic Sphere. Listen out for Crypto with Lynell. We're trying to show you this information, not to get you to buy something, not to get you to pay for us to do anything. I do want you to hit up their Cash Apps because I'm too broke, because I'm investing all my money into cryptos. I'm too broke to give to them. So give to them for me. I appreciate that. But, a lot of people have to understand what's happening here, what's going on. And people like the Logic Sphere, TyCity, and Crypto with Lynell and myself, we're actually showing you this along with many others that are out there, bigger channels than ours. And we're actually trying to show this in this, the Black Manosphere, this Black space, if you will. And I think it's important that we listen to this, keep it on our radar. We're having large companies like Tesla actually having shares in it. We're also having private companies that are not being outed per se, but they're actually showing that they have like private hedge funds. I just heard about this today. A private hedge fund. I forgot how the information got out, or if they reported or said it themselves, one of their members. But private hedge funds are actually investing in cryptocurrencies. So you're seeing these, this big money, this big stealth wealth. I love that. This silent money that doesn't talk to you, doesn't get on channels, that isn't a big name like a Mike Saylor, a Mike Novogratz, or anything like that, or a Raoul Pal. All this big money, they're doing these things, quote unquote, behind the scenes, while everyone's calling it funny money, while everybody's calling it the drug dealers, this or that, or so on and so forth. So look into it. Even if you get into it through the, if you're waiting for your Bitcoin ETF, which, it looks like Mike Saylor, and I forgot his company. What is Mike Saylor's company again?
MicroStrategy.
Yeah, MicroStrategies. It looks like they're pushing to do an ETF, and they're buying up like a large percentages of Bitcoin on a daily.
No, that's Grayscale.
Oh, that's Grayscale Capital?
Yeah, Grayscale. I'm trying to do the ETF.
Okay. I swore I heard, but okay. So I'll thank you. I'll take the correction on that one, because Lynell, he has crypto in his name, so he knows more about it than I do. But that's what we're here for. I say something wrong that I might have, messed up, but then we have other brothers in the space that are saying all these things as well. But anyways, back to the conversation.
I want to add on to that what you just said, man, because when it comes to crypto, when it comes to money, I've seen a lot of people try to jump in, try to switch up and like become crypto experts overnight and shit. And it's a credibility that comes with this. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you could just say what you want if you're talking just manosphere shit. When you start pushing crypto, like people's money is on the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to see your portfolio. Like that's why I show my spreadsheet all the time. Like,
yeah,
I want to see your portfolio.
You're not going to be able to just switch up. You know what I'm saying? These aren't talking points. These are markets. So when you say I stand corrected, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it's math, not feelings.
Yeah, it's just no emotion that you cannot argue about. You know what I'm saying? Well, what happens? You see what I'm saying? Because no matter how you feel, the market can go down tomorrow.
Yeah, most definitely. And are you diversified enough? What's your profit? What's your asset allocation? I see a lot of videos where superstars, as a lot of superstars will put out information on, they do the jewelry, the like MTV Cribs, but they do it with their jewelry and they're showing all the jewelry pieces.
Oh, yeah,
I want to see the jewelry. I want to see your portfolio. I want to see how much land you own. Like, show me that. then I'm gonna be like, as a man that's growing up and seeing Quavo and other people with their chain and even the stuff that he did with Saweetie and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, that's nice, that's cute. You did all that. You put all this money into a woman. Great. What did you put in terms of? What did you put in terms of your assets? What did you do for your kids? What did you do? What's your Roth IRA look like? What's your custodial accounts look like? Like, I want to talk, like, sit down, do a MTV Cribs like financial thing where you don't sit down with your jeweler. You sit down with your CPA or your financial advisor, the person with the fiduciary responsibility to watch out for your money. Your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I think it'll surprise a lot of people with what a lot of those guys do with their money. You know, some of them, you know, it's this thing around where, you know, a lot of these rappers is broke, but man, a lot of them is, you know what I'm saying, from Nipsey Hussle to Soulja Boy to 50 Cent. These people have intertwined some of their business into crypto. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'll never forget the SEC lawsuit hit. Like 2 weeks later, Soulja Boy was on Twitter like, yo, how can I buy XRP? Because all the exchanges had went down. So I see Nipsey before he passed. He was, I would like to see his crypto portfolio. He was heavy.
Yeah, he was. I think he was over in it's like
Denmark.
Yeah.
Denmark. Thank you very much. I was saying Dane or something like Danish.
I believe 50 sold a lot of records using Bitcoin from the Massacre album, and they stopped talking about that. Last I heard, he said he lost the password to the wallet where they was
lost the password. Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, right.
So,
next you know that wallet starts doing some transaction and goes into Monero and then just gets lost, and you don't know where it comes out on the other end.
Yeah, you know, Snoop Dogg was performing at one of the early Ripple events, and you know, these people, they become intertwined. So a lot of them, they're not that dumb, you know. Chamillionaire and
Chamillionaires.
Yeah, he been changed, man.
Yeah,
man.
You got Nas. Nas got a venture capitalist fund, and some of these dudes, you know what I'm saying, they icy because they really icy.
Well, and that's the thing. I want to see that because it's like, listen, you know, you hear about some people, but I think a lot of these newer cats are smarter with their money, hopefully. But
they don't have a choice. It's so many horror stories because I'm out of it.
Can't ignore it.
I came out of the music industry. Like, there's an understanding that you're getting fucked. You need to find other ways to parlay the little bit that you do have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to see artists fundraise, right, before they go on tour, so they don't have to take a loan from the label. You say so?
Yeah, like Immortal Technique and how he actually, you know, funds like most of his operation himself. He's been independent since forever, you know. But yeah, I do want to talk about that because it's like I want to see how much money these guys have in AT&T. You put like a 13. This is a mental exercise I do all the time, and we'll move on to a question that Keanu Dane had. Any of you guys trade Forex? And we'll get into that question in a second. But I do this mental exercise all the time. You put $13 million in AT&T, that's going to get you about 400 shares. Those 400 shares are at AT&T's last dividend was 52 cents. So that, I think it was 52 cents. I think there was another dividend since then. But even at 52 cents, that same 52 cents is going to yield you about 200 grand per quarter. So it's just like these guys. It's like these guys are doing some. I want to see if these guys are doing that. But go ahead and we'll get into Keanu's question. And Keanu, also, Dollar Will, check out his channel. Dollar Will does trade Forex, and he does talk a little bit of finance, but mostly on his Patreon. And definitely it is an active Patreon. Like he is active. But go ahead, guys.
Yeah, before I move,
I know I said a lot, so tell me if I need to repeat.
I want to add on to that because this technology is changing the music industry as well, as far as like NFTs are coming about and the way blockchain is going to change. You know what I'm saying? So there's all these business opportunities that's about to pop up. You know, this is part of the transfer of wealth, right? So now it's not Leon Cohen and all of them from Atlantic Records. You can literally start your own record label right now doing NFTs, marketing, and all of that stuff through blockchain technology. Anybody can make an app. Anybody can put it together. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's part of this wealth transfer. You know what I'm saying? There is, like, the world becomes decentralized and there is no gatekeeper. You see?
So, Lynell, I want your thoughts after TyCity is done. Lynell, I want your thoughts on NFTs, and then TyCity, I want you to go back into that because one of your most recent videos was talking about NFTs. But go ahead, TyCity.
Yeah, NFTs for the most part right now through euphoria. You know what I'm saying? Like investing, emotions of people, all this ties together, right? So it's euphoric. I personally think that we're in the beginning of the NFT bubble. I myself have invested in a couple NFT plays because I'm not finna miss out on it. It's what I call dumb money, where it's just like overvaluation for no reason. And, it's a lot of people.
It's reminiscent of the shitcoin days or altcoin. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, this
is the family channel.
It's crypto kitties all over again.
Right.
Well, so I mean, that's just I've seen this. That's another thing about surviving the first one. You've seen all this. You've seen the celebrity endorsements. You've seen the crypto kitties. You've seen the trends. You've seen things turn into like what you said about AT&T with DeFi. A lot of people are accumulating crypto just so they can stake them in these staking pools and get rewards the same way as getting a dividend.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's available in the space as well.
I'm going to have to jet here in a little bit, fellas. I got my son. So, I'm going to be listening in, though. But I got a jet. He get kind of aggy right now. But I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I'm gonna share more of your streams, dog. We're gonna get more people on this side of the game, man. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate your time, brother. And I am gonna share the video that you talked about NFTs and dumb money. And bro, thank you for the time that you've even given and taken away from your son to even talk about this. And let's have another stream and talk a little bit more about it, maybe even on a more regular basis.
Yeah, the NFT dumb money. I actually gave a suggestion on there, and I'm up 4x on it right now. So,
okay. Yeah, listen, if y'all want that suggestion, y'all are gonna have to watch this video, which is what I just linked it. I just put that in the chat. If y'all want that suggestion, y'all gonna have to listen to his video, and he's giving it away for free. So go over there and give him a like and a subscribe.
All right, bro. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
All right, bro. Peace. So Lynell, man, talking about NFTs, man, like, give us the dirt on that, man. Give us information.
As far as what it is or what I think about it?
Both, man. I'm gonna just say yes.
Okay. So NFTs is short for non-fungible tokens. Mm-hmm. And what trips people up is the fungibility word in NFT. And what fungibility means is it can be traded for other like tokens. So one Bitcoin can be traded for another Bitcoin because it's fungible with each other. One US dollar can be traded with another. I give you US dollar, you give me a US dollar. We'll take each other dollars and not worry about, oh, your dollar is more expensive than mine. That's fungibility.
Or, has more ridges on the jacket or something.
Right. It's two like things, that could be traded with each other because they're both worth the same exact in value. That's fungibility. Non-fungible is the opposite of that. I won't give you my dollar if my dollar was laced with 24 karat gold, because my dollar is worth your more than your dollar. That's non-fungibility. So you take that concept to crypto and you got non-fungible tokens. And non-fungible tokens are tokens that are one of one. It can be even two. 2 of 2, you know, 3 of 3.
So that's like even like there's only one Mona Lisa painting.
Yeah.
So you can only have, you can have, you could, wow. And you know, I always like when I heard about the fungibility, I've never gotten into it. Call me, you know, the conservative crypto guy, if you will. Like, hey, listen, that's the fancy stuff that you kids get into. I would be that guy, but when I heard fungible, I was just like, oh, okay, so you can't split it, you know, like it's not the fungibility of the token, you can't split it, but it's more or less like there's the uniqueness of this, that this dollar is not the same, and its value is not in that the fact that it's a dollar, it's the fact that the serial number on that dollar is only on that dollar.
Yep, it's unique, it's non-divisible, it's unique because of it's rare, the rarity, you know, just like a rare baseball card from the 1800s and only one survived. You're not going to trade that for a brand new Ricky card guy from 2021. Nah, it's non-fungible. You know, I'm getting ripped off. So you take that to crypto and you got these non-fungible tokens. The most popular at the time form of non-fungible tokens is art. So now you got these artists, you know, people will say, well, the only thing they are expensive JPEGs. They could and could be, depends on how you look at it. You know, people look at the real physical art world differently. You know, people say, I'm not going to pay X amount of money for this painting of this color of red. You know, somebody will, you know. So now you got these artists that are selling artwork in non-fungible tokens. So the tokens represent the art on the blockchain. That artwork is stored on the blockchain. And if you have the token, you have access to that piece of artwork. So now that's the most common, well, not the common, I won't say common, wrong word to use. That's the most popular application of non-fungible tokens. You're going to have other applications of that concept of non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. For here on out, I'll just say NFTs for short, for non-fungible tokens. So that's another aspect of cryptocurrency that is actually growing the space. NFTs are growing the space of cryptocurrencies.
And you know what's
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No. Finish your thought, brother.
No, I was just gonna say "and" as a filler word.
Oh, okay. So you know what's beautiful about this? This actually reminds me of the movie Tenet. In the movie Tenet, there's these places that are between countries, and this is where the rich would hold their artwork. So that was like one of the things in Tenet where they talked about this, or that was a part of the whole movie, right? But what it showed you is, you know, there's a lot of, you know, rich people where they're moving artwork, they're moving things all over the place, and they're having it stored in these areas. But this artwork it represents so much in terms of value, and it's quote unquote it's non-fun, or it's you can say this artwork is a physical version of an NFT, if you will, or the precursor to an NFT. And this artwork has this value to it, and a lot of people would hold that and covet that. So it's like, okay, this is almost like an entry point for rich people. Like they would be interested and they would see the value in this. Much like before you got on, we were talking about how venture capitalists, they see the cryptocurrency market just like the VC market, where only 80% of these VCs will actually come to market. The products will actually come out, and the products will actually come out to the point where it's actually 80% of the products won't come out. 20% of the products actually will come out and then make those exorbitantly high gains. You know, there's only a few ride sharing apps that would come out and be like an Uber and actually do great numbers like Uber. So that's like, when I hear this, I'm like, whoa, from a rich person standpoint, they're seeing this NFT stuff as like totally different than you or I would see it, or other people would see it as, oh, these are just fancy JPEGs or expensive JPEGs.
And it's the human. It's the a word I'm looking for here. Not ingenuity. That too, ingenuity, but ingenuity. Intuitive. Yeah, that. But also, it's the human creativity you know, one you may think NFTs is trash, you know, well, not specifically you, but a person may think NFTs are trash, but another person that's creative may do something with this concept that'll change your whole mind about it. And now you're sitting there thinking like, oh, now I see.
And you over here stroking your beard, like
right.
Like that was that. I had that moment a second ago.
Right. Yeah. That concept, that application of NFTs, I got to give it up to that person. And now you got a situation where that will rub off on other people and they'll say, you know what? I like that, but I'll do you one better. I'll do this. And now it just grows and grows and grows. That's why I say the most popular application of NFTs at this moment is art, but there's other applications of NFTs. And on top of that, you know, you got the DeFi space, man. People doing things in DeFi I wouldn't do, but they doing it.
Can you name some of those? Give up the dirt. Come on, you know, show some of them skeletons in the closet. What are these people doing in these Telegram groups?
No, well, it's called yield farming. So
okay.
Yeah, so what they'll do is put their money into project A, and project A gives them a yield or a token to represent, okay, you got $1,000 in our project, so here's a token. And they'll take that token and put it into project B and get yield off that. And whatever yield they get off project B, they'll put it in project C and get yield off that. So they daisy chaining different yields and tokens that they get from different projects and put it into other projects. And it's called yield farming. I necessarily would not do that because, you know, well, with me, it's just too confusing. You know, I got 3-4 different things, but somebody else may do it and they get yield off that. And now you got people doing that. You got people doing other type of DeFi's, taking their money and go to BlockFi, get 8.6%. You got people doing
and also
it's crazy.
We're not well, myself and Lynell, I think you're not, but we're not sponsored by BlockFi. But one of the things BlockFi has are retirement accounts that are crypto based, which is very interesting. And for us, that's kind of like our parents getting into, or even the previous generation getting into 401ks and other retirement vehicles that weren't classically weren't there previously or in a previous generation. So we're seeing that where that's a maturing of the space. Also, I put a link in the chat. It's a great conversation with Jim Bianco, where Jim Bianco talks a little bit about yield farming and how he would actually take Bitcoin, put it into, I think, Pancake Swap or something like that, and then also do yield farming on that. And then even taking out loans or even letting people borrow your crypto to a certain extent to where you can actually get some type of return on it. And TyCity was even talking about, you know, yield farming just a tad bit, where people are doing this and they're getting some type of dividend off of it.
Yeah, it's so much stuff that's going on in crypto. For a person that cover the crypto news, it's hard to keep up because you got to keep up with different projects. Then those different projects got well, I wouldn't say different projects. I think what you're going to start seeing, different projects are going to have the same things built on top of their ecosystem. So let's say pick whatever top tier projects you got in mind. They all, in my opinion, are going to have some type of DeFi on them. They all are going to have non-fungible tokens on them. They all are going to have virtual land on it. They're all going to have some type of stable coin on it.
I'm sorry, go back a little bit. You said virtual land, right?
Yeah, like Decentraland. It's like virtual land.
Yeah, I wanted you to get into that.
You know, they all going to have different, well, the same concept on top of their blockchain, but you know, from it's going to be made for their ecosystem. You know,
Yeah, because we're seeing
yeah,
the growth of virtual worlds. We're going to be seeing where you know, if we're working from home and learning from home, the next step will naturally, not even can, will naturally be a company that I wanted to work for here, even in Florida, is MindSpark. And they're here in Plantation, where I used to live. And MindSpark, they work on not virtual reality, but augmented reality. So you would have these glasses or a headset that would show you everything. It's almost like Pokemon Go, where instead of just seeing that grass, you also see like a freaking Bulbasaur on there and you're trying to catch it. But now, like, it's like, okay, now if your kids will be, you might have to sign a field trip form, which might come in the form of a fillable PDF or some type of token that you have to sign for or something like that, or do a smart contract for, you know, from the school. And just saying, it can get to that, right? And then or even an app where you say yes or no for your kid to take a field trip, but that field trip will be at the Louvre. And it's like, oh, so they're flying there? No, we have VR goggles. And during this period, we're going to be going to the Louvre and we're going to get a virtual tour. It's not going to be recorded. It's actually going to be a real tour live. And that person is going to be walking you through the Louvre. That camera might be on a cart. All the kids will see it in some way, shape, or form. And now, oh, you got, okay.
So, oh, no, my bad. I don't know. I was trying to pause something and I unpaused it.
No, you're good. I know how it is. Like, I'm doing stuff in YouTube here, getting links and putting in there. But now this is what the world that we're looking at, or this is things that I'm thinking about. And this is good for people that are in investing, getting into companies that are like this. But I'm not sure if MindSpark is a publicly traded company. I believe they got bought out by AT&T. Not sure. But you're looking at it to where people are going to start being, kids are going to start taking trips to the Louvre and not even leave their own hometown, and may not even leave their own home because they're homeschooled. And when I say homeschooled, they're learning from home through the local public school system, and they have VR goggles, and they're able to look around and look at the Mona Lisa up close without actually touching it, and even ask questions and interact with the rest of their classroom. This is things that we're seeing that are being done in Microsoft Teams, that are being done in Zoom classrooms, so on and so forth. So now you're going to see platforms like Blackboard, which has been popular even since I was in college. So it was like 2004, 2005. And even in Blackboard, you saw where, you can do all your course material and everything, or you do all your coursework and the material would be in there. You'd be working in groups, blah, blah, blah. And it was crazy. I'm talking a lot here, but it's just like we're doing this deep dive in terms of the applications of NFTs and how important they are, and actually the importance of cryptocurrencies. But Lynell, I'll let you speak because I'm talking too damn much, man. Oh, I see you're muted there. So
no, you good. You good. You good because it's good information. Instead of just saying hype stuff, putting everything in context helps people digest the possibilities of crypto, and it also helps them in their thought process of, okay, instead of saying hype, oh, Theta went 6,000, 14,000%, 15,000% this year, and you're like, well, people think like, well, I need to invest in Theta, let me get in Theta. Now you're thinking, you're saying, well, this, putting everything in context. And a person may have their own plans or their own thoughts and dreams, and they say, well, you know what, let me get into crypto space. It looks like it can help me with my dreams. And they get into it and they listen to people who say, trying to stick to the top tier of cryptocurrencies, liquidity, market cap, things like that, spit little bugs in their ear, little gems in their ear. And they'll say, and you never know, they may get to a point where, you know what, putting things in context allowed them to flesh out their plans, allowed them to build their plans, and now they got to a space and a place where they are able to significantly significantly put action onto their plans through cryptocurrency because of the context that was given. You know, we didn't make people.
Yeah, they understand it better, so they become quote unquote better investors at that point into the space.
Right. Exactly. We didn't make them feel like, you know, you needed to. If you didn't make $300 million in crypto, then you failed. No, hey, you know, you put $500 in. I'm just saying $500 because it's a nice round number, and you get 5,000, and that bill alone or whatever costs 3,000. You done paid that off, and now you got to worry about no more.
Yeah, and you know what, and that's like the important thing, where people need to look at this space and understand that there's so much to it. Now, to your point, Lynell, one of the things that I actually, my friend and Dollar Will said, hit the like, fam. Yeah, please, definitely hit the like, and also go to the channel of the people that have contributed, Lynell and Ty City, or the Logic Sphere, all one word, and then Logic Sphere, all one word, which is TyCity's channel. And go ahead and subscribe. He's put up some content recently. He is actually in jail a little bit right now, but or YouTube jail, but he will be back putting up content and things like that and doing live streams and all that as well. So definitely, you know, subscribe and listen out for him. I do want to say I appreciate Black Curls for even listening to us. And I know I guess she's one of TyCity followers, or subscribers. So I do want to say I appreciate that, and even TyCity for sharing this video. But one of the things that you were just talking about, Lynell, or to your point, is talking about what they're doing to put all this information out there so that we can accept it. This is something that we've talked about in BGS Coliseum, where media, entertainment, news, so on and so forth, will put information out there in our heads that we don't know. So when things actually come out, we start to accept it. Transformer movies or anything else that's out there. And even now we're looking at Made for Love, premiere recap, maybe sex dolls are just simpler, graded. So that's the name of this article. But I was actually told about this show because I don't have HBO Max, but I was watching the Snyder Cut at my friend's house the other day, or sorry, yesterday. And we were talking, he was talking about this show, and essentially it's Elon Musk's Neuralink, but it's showing the future of Neuralink, where a couple is, they're the first couple to have a chip in their head that is linking the two of them, where it's things like it's augmented reality. So now it's almost like gamifying, virtualizing, or adding another level of reality to their own reality. You know, like the husband says, "Hey, I love you, baby, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go swim with, you know," I think the animal's name was like Thomas or something like that. He went to go swim with his dolphin, but it's not a real dolphin. It's actually just augmented reality. And she's living this where she's out there tanning, and then she talks about how she wants a divorce. So, you know, like, definitely go look at that show. But what it's showing you is they're putting this stuff out there to put it into your heads to make it normalized. So I did want to bring that up. And Lynell, go ahead and tell me your thoughts on that, man. That's
yeah. I saw that. I saw that that trailer for that. I think it looks pretty nice. Obviously, with any technology, we tend to over and under guess our expectations of it, and it tends to land somewhere in the middle. Like, case of point, the internet. I'm sure when the internet was first started, people was like, "Oh, this is going to be this. It's going to be the future." But the vast number of people did not have that same vision. They couldn't even picture that because of the world we were living in at that time. You know,
I think it was one of the Gumble brothers. I think it's the small, where he was talking about email. What is that? And then they they did a flashback, and then they did a fast forward, and I think he was in the BMW, one of the BMW the i3 car or something like that, the little smart car that they had. And it was crazy because that was our lived experience, even as children, when they were talking about it. Well, I think I was a little bit younger then at the time. I don't remember when he said that, but it was like kind of crazy. He said email. I was just like, that's like when people talk about even email nowadays, people sending emails like sending a fax. It's just like, yo, you still do that.
You know, and it's like, okay, man, I'll shoot you an email, you know, and even the verbiage, our verbiage changed. And when he said that on I think, I forgot what show, I want to say Good Morning America, but he was like, yeah, what's that A with the circle in it? And now, right. And now you think at that time he was like, why would I send an email when I could write a letter? Fast forward to now, it's like, why would I write a letter when I can send an email? A letter is snail mail. It takes so long. And now we got, and this is just technology, you know. Listen, humans will be humans. I'm banking on humanity. I say that to say a couple things. One, when we go to different planets, we're not going to automatically foot on ground on a different planet, take Mars. We're not automatically going to become benevolent creatures. Whatever bullshit we've been doing here, we're going to take it there. When we go to another solar system or another universe and meet another species, we're not automatically going to become benevolent creatures. God-like creatures.
The Martian Manhunter better watch out because we're going to be hunting at his women.
Right.
I feel you.
Whatever crap we're doing here, we're just going to take it there. That's, I'm banking on humanity. And two, yeah, people are going to say, oh, this technology is going to change the world, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that, everything up, high, low, and in between. Okay, that's fine. I hear you. It's cool. Good stuff. You know, I'm glad you put that bug in my ear. I'm glad you hyped up this technology. Cool. Okay, I understand. My reply is humans are going to humanize it. Meaning, yeah, we got these cell phones that got more power than the space shuttle that went to Mars. You know, it's in our back of our pocket. But what we do, we go on the internet and talk shit to each other.
Right.
You know, we're going to
get on the bullshit.
Right. We are going to humanize it, man. We're, you know, and on top of that, these cell phones now got more power in it than that IBM computer but from back in the 70s that took up an entire room. And what we do, don't put a case on it. Don't put a screen protector on it. It drops, you know, and we still using it, cutting up our finger. You know, it's just, yeah, it's going to be.
Or even like, you know what, we don't see the importance of things like technology like USB.
Yeah.
3D Dollar Will said 3D bullshit. You know?
Right, exactly. Like, you know,
we are, or I want to modify that and be a little bit more raunchy, like 3D fuck shit. Like we still that 3D fuck shit no matter what, and it's kind of crazy, man. And you know, to your point, we were talking earlier, and we were talking about you know, not just showing receipts to show off. TyCity was talking about this. We were all talking about this actually a while ago. But showing off, and not everybody's going to do this. Not everybody has to do this. But I like to personally do this because you can see the power of investing not only in cryptocurrencies. And this is getting a little bit back onto, you know, getting out of the weeds, man, because we was getting in there. But to see that this space and many other spaces that will stem from it, run parallel to it, and intersect with them, there's a lot of money. Another space that's really big is genomics. If you listen to Kathy Wood and some of her talks about genomics and what that's going to be, and her genomics ETF, I think it's ARKG, and even you know, all the different technologies. But you can see that even with my own portfolio, and this is since October 2019, but you can see the steady rise of this. And you can see how, like, oh, okay, wow, this is actually merely making something. And you see this dip here. This is where I sold out a lot of my silver. I had like $3,000 of silver. I sold out of that. I sold out of some cryptocurrencies. And this is where I bought a house. And you can see where this is around November of 2020 and going couple months. This is month by month. So we're seeing, I think this is October or so, or September. I have the dates in here somewhere. No, I don't. I have it on another screen. I won't show that right now, though. But you can see that in some of my other videos for people that want to, you know, watch some of my content, and people that are already subscribed and new people that are in the space or here. But definitely, there's a video that's coming out tomorrow. It's already queued up. I already made it. and it's just talking about profit harvesting and what I do to increase my profits and actually diversify even further. But you'll see here, you know, total assets 31 grand. Now I'm looking at 53 grand only a couple months later. So I purchased a home and you know, finally moved out of mom's house, you know, purchased a home, and now what in the world? Damn it. Freaking sorry about that. That was a something that I use an add-in that I use. But I've purchased a home. I've gotten a little bit of a drawback, and then with that, steadily kept on rising. I talk about being investment poor. People have talked about being savings poor. Some people have talked about I'm sure you guys have heard this, being mortgage poor or house poor. You know, so your house poor, meaning that you put all your money into your house. These are your priorities. My priority is to actually fund my retirement, just in case I will just, you know, have to die alone or anything like that. But you can see how the cryptocurrency space and other things have actually helped out with that. And then I even go into my asset allocation and how things are split up. I have 46% in crypto. These are stocks and retirement accounts, and then 401k or retirement account again. But go ahead, Lynell.
Yeah, they say house rich, cash poor.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Or you have a nice car, but you live in an apartment. It's just like
car rich.
Or in my case, I had a 7 Series at one point and it was used, but I had a 7 Series living at my mom's house. But you know, I was working jobs. I was running a business, working a job, and then even still having. I was starting my salon around that time too, back in 2017, and putting money into that. So I was really still investment poor, and kind of the only thing I had to show for it was a car, which I don't have now. I got rid of it. But go ahead, Lynell, with what you were saying.
Yeah, you know, it's all about priorities. You know, I know that Gucci pullover is iconic and looks nice. You know, it costs, you know, a couple $100, $400, $500, $600, $700. But hopefully, as people get older, you know, your priorities should change. And also, I've been hearing people in the space, Ohane, you know, he makes a good point. We are being entertained to death. Whereas, you know, the rap music, it raps about certain topics, you know, usually negative. You know, the stuff we intake in terms of what we see in videos, you know, commercials, you know, they usually talk about consumerism. And it's like, you know what? Do I really need that? You know, and rest in peace to DMX, right? I was looking at, I noticed how he dressed recently. He dressed, you know, jeans, shirt. I never saw him with jewels.
Yeah, conservative.
Right. And but people didn't say, oh man, DMX don't dress, you know, like, you know, he don't got the Armani suit on. No, you know, I don't know what his financial situation was, but I'm using that to say labelless clothing, you know, classic, timeless, you know, capsulated wardrobes, you know, so you ain't got to keep buying the same thing over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. You know, thing after a while, you like, hopefully, you know, I know everybody don't make this transition, but you got a situation where, you know, I got what I got, but my priorities is living a financial free life, and that financial free life spills over and helps you have a better quality of life in other areas, and that's great. And that's what we're talking about, having a better financial life, and the power to do that. One of the most powerful vehicles to allow you to have a better quality of life is money, is finances. You know, yeah, you can get that in other bachelor's degree or master's or PhD or that other certification, you know, but there's no guarantee that it'll draw to an outcome of more money per year. but investing and trading and, you know, building up your financial wherewithal, that does. And that building up your financial wherewithal allows you to have a better quality of life in other areas, such as going to the gym, eating better, working out, stress-free, which I plan on a lot of times, you know, make better decisions, because after you gain a lot of, you have a nice little nest egg, you got thousands of thousands of thousands upon thousands or hundreds of thousands saved in your account. Now you're thinking like, well, you got different thoughts. Now you're thinking, do I really want to spend $15,000 on this? I'd rather see that $15,000 in my bank account than spend it on something frivolous.
Right. You know? Or even to interject, do I really want to live in a place with a higher cost of living? If I can work from home, or if I can do trading of any sort, or if I just have enough money where I don't have to work for 6 months and I can go ahead and find a remote job. But go ahead.
Oh, no, I was clearing my nose. Yeah, and like I took a sabbatical from the manosphere, and I was listening to other guys on YouTube and their conversations.
Definitely important to do that. It's definitely important to do that. Mental health. Oh, man. You have to. You have
to.
Yeah.
One of my favorite YouTubers. I have a many favorite YouTubers. One of them is the Urban Gentry. He talks about watches. And him and this other guy talk about watches, and I'll listen to their conversation in the background. And it's not, some of the conversation in the manosphere, it takes away brain cells. I swear it takes away brain cells, because it's like, are y'all actually talking about this? Like, this is not serious.
And you know, I want to keep it on crypto and everything, but
okay, yeah.
No, but I want to say this is what's important in terms of our mental health. The things that we find therapeutic. Why do we find them therapeutic to listen to? Also, it's also therapeutic to not listen to those things on a regular basis. It's also therapeutic to change not just your environment physically, but change your mental, your audible environment, your visual environment, you know, your mental environment. Because even, you know, and I want to say this to your point, because I think it's very important. I just drove back down here to Florida, and it's like people driving in the rain is crazy. I understand why the car insurance is as high as it is down here. I saw an 18-wheeler run a stop sign today, and while it's raining, and I'm like, yo, bro, you can't stop. You can't stop, period, whether you have a load or not in that truck. And I'm coming down the road, and then it's wet outside. So it's like, yo, this is the environment that I spent 35 of my years in on a regular basis. And now that I'm somewhere different, where even my mom was talking to me about this, we were just talking a little while ago. And it's good to have a different home environment too. That's very important. But my mom and I were talking about this the other just today, and she was talking about how people are so nice in the area that I live in now. Like, you know, she went to the local gas station, and people were coming around talking and having conversations and all types of stuff. And that's great for her, because I do want her to come live with me, even though she annoys the living crap out of me. But it's just like, I'd rather have her be with me, because, you know, and then be even in that environment. And it's just like, whoa, she's seeing how it's just different. You come home peaceful. You're watching the water. There's fish, there's turtles, there's lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, there's all types of stuff going on.
You can hear the birds chirp.
Change your environment. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can hear the birds chirp.
Yeah.
In the morning.
And, you know, I'm going to be doing a video where I compare the sounds of, you know, me opening my window. And I was just doing this, like, because it was just something I laid down before the stream to get some rest and everything. And I was like, I had the windows open, and I could hear all this traffic because I'm close to a turnpike. But where I live now, even though I'm close to train tracks, I don't hear as much in terms of there's a road that goes in front of my house. I hear some vehicles. Everybody's got a big F-250. And then the trains come every so often. but it's nothing like here where it's constant.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's good to change your environment, and it's also good to listen to different content that's not talking about the same thing, whether it's manosphere content for people that do or do not know about this space, or it's just content talking about finances. So one of the last things I want to talk about, the question that Keanu brought up earlier, and I'm not sure if he's still listening, but
oh, my bad.
Trading in this space, how do you do it? What do you see? Or what are you trying to do to get into it a little bit more? And that's the question we'll end the stream with.
Yeah, for me, like you said, shout out to Dollar Will. He taught me how to trade. There's different types. There's different ways to trade. People use the best way to trade is to use technical analysis. You have fundamental analysis where you're looking at news or you're looking at financial sheets or companies. You sifting through a lot of information to give you keys to signals to invest. There's emotional investment, which I highly do not recommend people do invest based on the emotions, because when you do that, you'll say, well, since I'm investing into such and such assets, I think it's going to go up. No, don't have to. So the best type of investing is technical analysis. And there's different ways to do technical analysis, and all of them are right. All of them are correct, because technical analysis gives you an edge on the market. It's tools that allow you to gauge and read the markets, read price movements, read structure that those price movements develop in the market that gives you an edge to make a trade, to go long or short. And it helps you. My choice of technical analysis is called LA Wave Theory. Shout out to Dollar Will. That's what he taught me. And he does that, you mentioned earlier, through Patreon, $10 a month. $10 a month, you can learn a skill that you can have for the rest of your life. And so,
right, and then you can do for the rest of your life as long as your faculties are there.
Right. And so that's trading. And you can trade crypto, you can trade stocks, options, futures, different markets, bonds, treasury, yield. You can do all that type of trading, binary options. And the basis of trading is technical analysis. And yeah, for the rest of your life, you got to continuously learn for the rest of your life, meaning each market is different. So you got to learn how that market, reacts. Stock market reacts differently from the crypto market. In the crypto market, you may have more of this happen going on in the crypto market compared to a futures market. Yeah, but once you get used to the market, you apply technical analysis to whatever asset that you like to trade, then for the rest of your life, you just using it to supplement your income, to add more money to your income that you already have. So I would say, yeah, Dollar Will.
So now, with that being said, how do you trade crypto using technical analysis? What exchanges do you use? What platforms do you use to actually trade in cryptocurrency on like a day trader type level? If you don't mind talking about that, and if you don't feel comfortable doing that because where it gets into in terms of telling people that type of stuff, but yeah, if you can give us some information on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't day trade. I tried day trading before, and it's a lot more work. So I swing trade. And with cryptocurrency, what I would do is whatever crypto I'm investing in, I'll follow the market according to my skill of technical trade, which is Elliott Wave. And Elliott Wave gives you a broader synopsis of the market. And so I'll say, okay, this market's about to reach the top. I gain, X amount of percent. Let me preserve my gains. And so I'll sell based off whatever crypto asset that I have that reached the end of its cycle.
Now, No, that's all right. But I do want to be specific about this. Are you doing this on Coinbase Pro to do these trades? Are you doing this on Binance?
No, whichever crypto asset I have, whichever exchange that I can buy and sell on. Because since I'm not doing day trading, my trades, I may place a few trades, a few times a year. So I'm not.
So you're saying technical analysis to probably even have a longer term outlook, of course, than day trading, where you're looking at it and saying, okay, hey, listen, Bitcoin is at 45,000 right now. I think it could hit a 60,000 mark by X, Y, and Z time if it comes in or out of this channel or something like that.
Right. Say, because when Bitcoin was at 3,800 last year, March, and I'm looking at the charts and I'm like, okay, it's at $60,000. It's, I think, it got a little bit more. And I'm just saying this as an example, not to say it's specific. I think it got a little bit more rope to go, and about here, I'll exit out. That's my thing. That's what I do. And so that's one trade in a span of 12, 13, 15 months, because I want to preserve my gains. We was in 2017, we went from X amount to $20,000 and rolled that slide board down. Well, if we knew technical analysis then, I could say, well, Bitcoin $20,000 per my technical analysis. This is the top. Let me get out now and preserve a lot of my gains, and then I'll get in.
Are you trying to get out of paying that tuition, bro? Are you like?
Oh, I paid it already.
You sound like you wanted to you wanted to pay less. Nah, bro, you gotta pay that pound of flesh.
No, I paid it already. I paid it. I paid enough for a lifetime. I paid it already. A lot of us did, and so now I'm like, you know what? Bitcoin at its top. Let me get out. I'm happy with my gains, and I'll come back in at a later date per what technical analysis and reading the charts tell me is a good time to get back in. And now when I get back in, I'm getting back in with a lot more money to buy a lot more. And then that roller coaster goes up and down. So my trades, I'm not going to have like 3, 4, 5 trades a week. I'm having maybe 3 a year, every year and a half, because I'm riding bigger cycles. So I'm a swing trader.
And that goes into Ray Dalio's debt cycle for people that don't know, that goes a little bit into Ray Dalio's debt cycle, where he's looking at the cyclical nature of markets. So now Lynell is even applying that somewhat concept of the cyclical. I'm getting a little feedback from you, brother.
Oh, my bad. Let me
where we're talking about the cyclical nature of the cryptocurrency market in terms of actually looking at it and saying, oh, okay, this is what it's doing now. I assume that or per my analysis, not assumptions, per your analysis, you're saying this is what's going to happen later on in terms of the market going up or down, and then you could trade in or out of that however you wish. But go ahead, Lynell.
Yeah, since I'm doing bigger cycles, Bitcoin, this uptrend started in March of last year. So I got it. I got to sneeze. I went came in. Oh,
bless you, by the way.
Thank you, appreciate it. So I got in, and now Bitcoin went from $4,000 to $60,000 or $70,000. That's a long cycle. That's a big cycle. So you got in. A person got in at the bottom, and now they went on. They rolled this roller coaster all the way to the top. So now you got all these gains. You don't want to ride that roller coaster back down. You're like, no, I'm going to keep this. So now you're like, well,
you went up the mountain hard and fast, but it's like coming down that mountain in a sense is going to be a little bit slower, if you will, because you might take that money, put it in REITs, dividend what's it called, dividend producing stocks or what have you.
So now you like, well, I'm gonna preserve my gains, and per my technical analysis, I'll say, well, I'm gonna get out right here, and after a while, your technical analysis becomes better and better and better, because you'll surround yourself with people that'll corroborate Right. It's all I will say. Leave a tip. You know, don't. You ain't got to eat every morsel of meat. No, just get out at the at near the top. You know, leave a little slice of flank steak or a slice of cube steak on the table with somebody else. You know, because you already had 15 steaks. You know, one more is not going. You know, not eating one more is not going to hurt you. So now you get out and your technical, like I said, your technical analysis becomes better and better because you just surround yourself with other people. You all got the same charts and corroborate, and you respect those people. And now you like, well, now let's say the market goes down, the market retraces. You like, man, I didn't preserve my gains. It's good. It's absolutely great, man.
Yeah, and then also that and again, I have a video coming out tomorrow at 12 p.m. talking about profit harvesting and pretty much taking some of your gains off the table and either putting it on the sideline or even reseeding those gains into the market. Now, one thing I'm showing you here on the screen is something that I recently went over in one of my bear market prep videos, bear market prep part 2, and I even had a B side to that, or second a sub video, but I talked about taking profit in Tesla and how I took profit in Tesla, and Tesla was at, did I say 25,000? No, it's 2,500. Perfect. So Tesla at $2,500, Uber, and this is all profit. This is not even the value. This is not the complete valuation of that position, but this is all profit from that position and getting in early and holding per my fundamental analysis. But even if you did technical analysis on this and you looked at it, you're saying, all right, cool, it may be doing this per its profit and earnings and things like that. But in my case, Tesla, Uber, Lyft, all profit. And then this is the bit of money I took off the table for that. And then I went ahead and sprinkled them, Salt Bay or whatever his name is. But I sprinkled them right there on my portfolio a little bit. And I went ahead and bought NEO, Palantir, AT&T, which is a dividend producing stock, and PSTG, which is an up and coming storage company. And this is what I did in terms of the first bear market prep part 2 video. And then this is the follow up with how everything shook out in terms of all the trades that I made. So this is what, the shares that I actually sold or that I was projecting to sell. But these are the shares that I actually did sell, because that $900 worth of Tesla stock, whereas per market close the previous Friday of me making the video, I would have had to sell 1.36 shares of Tesla. I only had to sell 1.29 shares of Tesla by the time this trade actually settled. And that was the same $900 because Tesla went from $661.75 or $661.75 a share to $700.20 a share. So it's like you're starting to see where you're taking this money off the table, and then, hey, I have to sell less shares. I can have more money. I have more money in the market. Hold on, let me put this up. Dollar Will said, nothing wrong with sitting on the sideline until prices get much cheaper per technical analysis. Definitely per technical analysis. And when you're looking at these things and you're saying, okay, well, I could take a little money. I reseeded, RESEED. I reseeded these profits, but you can also just bench these profits if you want and tell them, hey, listen, sit down. I'm gonna need you in the fourth quarter. And this is exactly what Dollar Will is saying, and how you can achieve this and, in a sense, be predictive and with this in terms of your models by doing technical analysis and learning that as a skill, whichever strategy or technique that you want to use. Lynell, go ahead. Stop the screen share.
I bet. Yeah. It's not wrong sitting on the sideline. You don't feel you got to be you have to make a trade. No, you don't. Just if none there, chill out.
So, I mean, with that, I will end the stream. We're coming up to 2 hours. Lynell, thank you for joining. Also, TyCity, if you're still listening, I hope you're having a good time with your child. And thank you for joining as well and dropping a little bit of knowledge. Everyone, please go ahead and subscribe to these brothers' channels if you haven't already. Crypto with Lynell and as well as TyCity. These are guys that are talking about finances. They're talking about various subjects. TyCity himself is somebody that's been in the music game a little bit, or he comes from the music world, if you will. So he's talking about guns. He's talking about music. He's also talking about now NFTs and dumb money and what that all means. I will actually be watching that video after this. But, you know, we have people like Dollar Will that's in the chat. Everybody else that is still watching and will be watching on the playback, I thank you for joining. And, you know, the last thing I'll say is if you're not taking what I say with a grain of salt, then you're low on sodium.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, go ahead and research. Go ahead and get more information. Go ahead and say, hey, Mike, you're wrong. Hit me up in the comment section. Tell me I'm wrong. It's good for engagement. So I really do appreciate you all. Lynell, any last words, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me on. And I hope we put more context in the people's minds that saw this.
Definitely. And for the people that do see this, I mean, if you want to hit any of us up in our comment section, and then you can get other ways of contacting us from there, please do so. We're here to help. I mean, it's not just, I'm not here to make money, because I don't make money off of this yet. But I really do want to say, hey, listen, guys, thanks for everything. Oh, also, it looks like I did get a Cash App. And this looks like, oh, okay, so this is that person's full name. And they gave me a $2 for support. $2 for support. I really do appreciate it. That's a lot of money to me. But it's LKM. I won't say the full name. I will say LaKenzie. I will say LaKenzie. Thank you very much for giving me that $2 via Cash App. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys are, before you're supporting us, before you're doing anything to put money in our pockets, put money in your own pocket. Look at your 401k if you have a 401k. You know, if you don't have a 401k, if you're a sole proprietor, go ahead and look at a 403b. Go ahead and look at Roth IRAs, or a regular IRA and a Roth IRA. Start looking up this information. You know, don't just be in this space just for entertainment. Because as Lynell was saying, we're getting entertained to death, and that's a problem. So definitely, you know, invest in yourself, invest in your own accounts. You know, if you're doing a 3% and then your company matches up to 6%, so go ahead and do this full 6%, and per their matching scheme, go ahead and take full advantage of it. It's free money. I'm saying this now, and I'm a bit hypocritical because I wasn't doing this myself. So, you know, learn the power of investing. Learn the power of investing, even if it's not cryptocurrencies. Learn the power of investing in traditional markets, your stock market and things like that. Get Robinhood, get M1 Finance. But most of all, get educated, please. Lynell, anything else, brother?
That's it. That's it. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right. For those that are listening, thank you so much. Have a nice one. Peace.